Hi, we're going to go ahead and design our base block today in Mastercam, and I'm just going to go through how to draw this part. So if you look right here, this is the print that we're going to use. I'll have this print attached as a link down below so you can grab it from there. But yeah, I'm just going to go through how to draw this up, and then in our next video we'll start programming it. So to start this drawing, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to draw a rectangle, and the two corners of this part are going to be 0, and then my next position is going to be 6, comma 4, because it's a 6-inch by 4-inch rectangle. Okay, now with that drawn, I want to go ahead and draw the slot on here, moving across the center, and I'm just going to use parallel lines to draw that slot. So we'll green check that, draw the parallel line, select this line, and then my distance, according to the print, is 2.125. I have to select which side, so I'm going to go ahead and put it on the upper side of the parallel line. We'll blue check that, and then I'm going to go ahead and do it again. And my distance is 2.875. And then I have to select. So green check that. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and draw the holes. And I'm going to start with the outside 4 holes. On the print it shows a 1/2 inch diameter counter bore, and then a 1/2 13 tapped hole, 650 deep. I'm going to go ahead and draw these as a 3/8 16 tapped hole, because that's what we're going to make them in the machine, change the print a little bit. And so usually whenever you're drawing a tapped hole, you draw it as the tap drill size. So the tap drill size for a 1/2 13 is a 5/16 drill. So I'm going to draw these 5/16. So we'll go to circle center point, type in 0.312, and I'm going to go ahead and lock it. Okay, so you want this to be locked. Now it's asking me to enter the center point. Well, the first point is the first point, comma 0.5. The next point, 5.5, comma 0.5. Then we've got 5.5, comma 3.5, and 0.5, comma 3.5. Enter. We'll green check that. I'm going to go ahead and delete this just by highlighting and pushing the delete key. So there's my 4 outside holes. Now if I want to add the counter bore to those holes, same thing, circle center, diameter of 0.5. Now I already know the location, so I can just snap to the center point of all of these holes. We'll blue check that. Now the very center hole, the hole in the center of this slot, is also a 1/2 inch diameter. So I'm going to go ahead and just type in that location, 3.0, comma 2.5. Hit enter. There's that hole. Now the only other 2 holes I have are the 2 3/8 16 tapped holes up here, which are also that 312 diameter. So, and the first one is 1.7, comma 3.5. Hit enter, and then the last one is 4.3, comma 3.5. So we'll green check that. So now there's all of my holes and my slot, and then the outside. We're going to go ahead and add the radiuses onto here now. So to do that, we're just going to use the fillet entities. You click on that. We're going to go ahead and type in the radius right here, which the print shows a 1/4 inch radius, so we're good. And then we want it to trim the entities. That will make it so it doesn't leave the sharp lines on the outside. So I'll start here and do these 2, and these 2. Now all we have left to do is put the 100,000ths radiuses on the slot. Now when we do this, it's going to get rid of a few of our lines, but that's okay. We'll redraw them back in as we need to. So 0.1 radius from here to here, and you see how it trimmed that line. That's okay. I'm going to come in and I'm going to redraw this line, redraw this line. Now I'm going to green check that there, go back in, draw my two radiuses here, green check. Now I'm going to redraw these lines in, and this will help with when we go to make this a solid later to have all these lines separate. So there we go. Now I could completely program this part using the linking parameters for all my depths right here, but I actually like to see it as a solid, so we're going to go ahead and turn this into a solid first. So to do that, we're going to go to solids and extrude. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick on the full outside of the part as my chain and extrude this part 750 deep. So whenever you're selecting a chain, I find it's easiest just to go ahead and follow the arrows if it doesn't select the whole thing for you. So I'm going to select in front of the arrow I want to go. So here's the red arrow, I select in front of it, select in front of it, select in front of it, and now the chain is completely closed. Green check. Now I want to go ahead and type in my distance. My part is 3/4 of an inch thick. And I want to change the direction to send it down. So that sends my solid model down instead of up. Blue check that. I will look at this under shading. So you can see I created a solid part. Now, to create my slot, which is 1/4 inch deep, I'm going to do the same thing. Follow my arrows. I'm going to select all the way around this slot. Now instead of create body, I'm going to do cut body. And I'm going to tell it a distance of 0.25. And now you can see it cut that body out of there 1/4 inch. Looks good. Green check. Now 3 of these are through holes. So we're going to see them on front and back side of the part. What I'm looking at right now is the front of the part that we're making. This is our cell phone or Kindle holder. This is actually the charger slot on it. So what I want to do is I'm going to send these holes down through the part. And it looks like I made a mistake and made that one a 5/16 hole. So I'll change that real quick. Green check, and now we'll go ahead and delete this one. So I'm going to go ahead and extrude these 3 holes all the way through the part from this side, and then we're going to put the counter bores and the tapped holes in from the back side only so they don't come through the front of the part. So to put these holes through, we're going to go to solid extrude, select the 3 holes that I'd like to extrude through. We're going to push cut body and then through all. And you can see that it extruded those holes all the way through the part. Green check. Now, to get these holes to the back side of the part, I'm going to translate them down 3/4 inch. And I like to use dynamic. So we're going to go transform, dynamic. Select my 4 holes. Green check, end selection, sorry. And now when it gives me this origin, I can place this anywhere because I'm going to be moving in one axis. So I'll just select the center of this lower left hole. I'm going to click on the blue line, not the arrow, not the gray ball, the blue line. Okay, and now I can move up and down. So I'm going to go ahead and type in minus 0.75. Enter. Green check that. And now if you flip my part over, you can see my holes move to the back. Now with the holes on the back, I can go back in and extrude those from the back side the way that I wanted to. So the first thing I'm going to extrude is the 5/16 holes, 650 thousandths deep according to the print. Extrude. I'm just going to select the 5/16 holes. Green check. Cut body. 0.65. Enter. Now I have to change the direction so it's going down in. Looks good. Green check. Now I'm going to extrude the counter bores. 1/4 inch deep. Distance 0.25. You can see it cuts those counter bores in there. Green check. Now we're all good to go. The part is completely designed. It's a solid. We are ready to start programming. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll make our next video on programming the first operation.